Undoubtedly one of the most iconic scenes in Alien is the chest burster. Heck, it was even turned into a hilarious parody in Spaceballs.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
While it's certainly gory and terrifying to behold, it turns out that Ridley Scott and his conspirators had to hide a few details from the cast members to get the reaction they wanted. Speaking to Empire magazine, Ridley said the following: "If an actor is just acting terrified, you can't get the genuine look of raw animal fear. So, he decided to give them as minimal detail as possible. In fact, their script just read, 'This thing emerges.' What? That morning, only actor John Hurt and the film crew were preparing the scene. An artificial chest was screwed to the table and John was underneath it, giving the illusion that his neck was attached to this fake chest. In between the prosthetics and puppeteer for the baby alien, the chest cavity was filled with organs bought from a butcher. The crew also ran hoses to pump fake blood to the chest. Then, they invited the cast up for the scene and voila! The reaction from the cast members is entirely authentic. However, it didn't all go according to plan, as actress Veronica Cartwright passed out after the cameras stopped rolling. Turns out that jet of blood that smacked her in the face was too much to handle. For Ridley, the most challenging part of the film was always going to be the design of the mysterious eighth member of the ship, or as we know it, the Xenomorph. At this point in sci-fi history, most of the creatures on screen were either furry or humanoid looking. Yet Alien wanted to do something different and push the boundaries of creature special effects. It wanted to be something genuinely terrifying, exactly like its initial pitch suggested, Jaws in space. The answer arrived in the form of art produced by surrealist artist H.R. Giger. It simply changed everything. Ridley himself described how he knew this was the right look.
When I saw Giger's stuff, I thought, this is it. And he wanted to redesign it, and I said, no.
Now, remember, this was a time before CGI was so prominent, so it wasn't just a person in a green suit and tennis balls. No, the Xenomorph was a triple threat of costume, prosthetic, and animatronic. But there's still one question here. Just how did the team manage to get the alien's slimy look down? Prepare to get your mind blown by this revelation from associate producer Ivor Powell.
KY jelly was very much in fashion at the time, and I think that was put on everything that moved in front of the camera.
Talk about a sticky situation there. Showing how you shouldn't reinvent the wheel if it's perfectly round, Ridley was so impressed by Giger's work that he brought him on board to provide designs for all other aspects of the movie as well. It proved to be a point of contention for the studio, as it believed Giger's work was far too scary for the audiences.
I have people, they like my stuff, or others they hate it.
Though the production company persisted with the studio and won the battle. Good thing that it did, otherwise we might have gotten this type of Xenomorph instead. In life, we could all use a hug once in a while, but what about a face hug? Well, the facehugger alien is more than willing to wrap its slimy self around you and show some love. It's a scene that's been replicated in other Alien films since then, but just how did the OG breathe life into this weird creation in 1979? In terms of creature design, the facehugger was a case of teamwork between Giger and screenwriter Dan O'Bannon, who toyed with the idea of it resembling an octopus at some point and eventually becoming what we now recognize. However, it was originally envisioned to be much bigger and to wrap itself around the astronaut's helmet, but Ridley thought it would be much more terrifying and scary if this alien actually burnt through the helmet to reach the face. Everyone agreed this was a better idea and direction. To make it come to life though, a sheep's intestine was used in the creation of the facehugger, while high-pressure air hoses were utilized to make it spring from the egg to the human. After this scene was filmed, the shot was actually reversed and slowed down in the editing process to give it more oomph. And if you're wondering what was used for when the dead facehugger is dissected, that was just a combination of fish and shellfish. Now, can you imagine the smell of the set after a day or two of filming that scene? Yuck! Now, let's talk about the planets, since Alien doesn't take place in the Nostromo the whole time. When the crew arrives to see the source of the electrical impulses they're receiving, they step onto an unknown planet. Naturally, since Elon Musk didn't fund this movie, no one was actually flown to space to do the production. Well, this scene took place on a set with all the bells and whistles to give it the effect of an alien planet. However, there was one specific problem that needed to be addressed: the lighting. Too much light and it would give off the impression that it was a movie set. Too little and the filmmakers wouldn't be able to get a clear shot. Cinematographer Derek Vanlint had a plan though. Writing an essay for American Cinematographer, he revealed the following: "I used a couple of searchlights and a light that has become lovingly known in England as the Wendy light. These special types of lights meant that Derek could cut down on the number of lights he required for the stage, as well as the actual manpower necessary to handle them." He added that these searchlights gave him the possibility of playing with long shots and also panning. More importantly, it actually made the audience feel as if these people were in space. And that's the type of authenticity you want when you're immersed in a film like this. There's one specific scene where Ash the android's head gets separated from the body, but the body is still moving. Nowadays, that shot is a cinch to get, with all the power of green screen and CGI. In the old days when Alien was made though, the filmmakers had to get a little more creative. So, for the scene in question, there was actually a mix of puppeteering, animatronics and real-life acting used. Let's break it down. When Ash is attacked and his head is separated, the torso and upper body are actually just a puppet that's being maneuvered around by the effects team. Also, it's not really actor Ian Holm's head getting smashed here. For the part when the android's head is put on the table, Ian's head was actually molded to create an animatronic version of it. However, the latex on the head shrank and left an ugly-looking head that no one would have believed. So, again, the team had to get creative. Poor Ian had to kneel under the table and pop his head through a hole to perform the scenes. The worst part? They covered him in caviar, pasta, and catheters to give the impression of the android's insides. Oh, the things that thespians suffer through to deliver a convincing performance. Speaking of aliens, you know who is our favourite otherworldly being? Superman! If you'd like to find out more about the Man of Steel's special effects, be sure to check out our video that explores all the CGI secrets behind Justice League. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching and stay awesome!